Paul Potts, the winner of Britain's Got Talent, captured the eyes and ears of the world with his astonishing performance. This ordinary mobile phone salesman has now become the hope of everyone pursuing their dreams. Selling over 5 million copies worldwide, his first album, One Chance, has become a huge sensation. Paul Potts went from being a mobile phone salesman to a world-famous pop opera tenor. On today's Heart to Heart, we invited Paul Potts to hear the story of his life. Welcome to Heart. I'm Lee Ji-yoon. There's a saying that a dream can make the impossible possible. And today, we have a cell phone salesman who turned his life around with his amazing voice and became a world star, captivating the hearts of millions around the world. Please welcome Paul Potts, who became the winner of Britain's Got Talent in 2007. Hello, Mr.
Hi.
Potts. So how have you been doing these days? What have you been up to?
Well, it's been an amazing 4 years so far. I've just had the great honour of travelling around the world many times, and to keep returning to beautiful Korea. I think it's my 9th or my 10th visit, my 3rd this year, and it's always great to keep coming back.
What brought you to Korea this time around?
Well, I have more concerts here. I've done quite a few concerts here this year, and I'm very happy to return again. So I'll be making my way to Ulsan, also to Jeoncheon, and many other places along the way.
Well, you know, if you didn't already know, you have a lot of fans here in Korea who love your songs and you. So if you could say hello to your fans in Korea.
It's wonderful to be back in your beautiful country, and I'm very, very pleased to be here. Thank you so much for your support over the last 4 years. It means so much to me. Thank you.
Okay, well, take me back to that moment when your name was announced as the winner of Britain's Got Talent in 2007. I bet that moment completely changed your life, no doubt about it. So what made you audition for the program?
Well, initially I was just I was fiddling around online after doing some work from home, and I stumbled across the Britain's Got Talent website, and I filled in the form, but I didn't think it was something that would be right for me necessarily. I never thought for a moment they'd even pick me to perform on the show, let alone get anywhere with it. So in the end, I took a 10p piece out of my pocket, flipped a coin, and then decided if it landed on heads, then I'd apply. If it landed on tails, then I'd cancel.
Boy, am I glad you flipped the coin.
I'm glad it landed on the heads.
Well, I mean, the competition had an amazing competition race. So many people applied and auditioned for the program. So you must have seen all those people lined up at Wales Millennium Center. Did you expect to win at first?
I never expected to win at any point, to be honest. I went there just to perform for the last time. I'd felt that it was singing was something that I could no longer afford doing, and I saw it as the end of the road for my singing, not the start of a new one.
Well, do you remember the moment when you first stepped on stage? How did you feel?
Well, I wanted to find the exit door, to be honest. I didn't know what to expect, and I'm someone that I feel very nervous about the unexpected, and so I wasn't entirely comfortable, and I was just looking for the exit when I walked onto the stage.
Well, all right, we're speaking to Paul Potts, a man who turned his life around from being a cell phone salesman to a winner of Britain's Got Talent. And we prepared some video footage of the moment when he wowed the audience at Britain's Got Talent. Let's take a look.
It's Paul, a mobile phone salesman from South Wales.
You seem a bit nervous here.
To sing opera. just slightly.
Do you remember the faces of the audiences and the judges?
I looked at the judges rather too much at the time, and I had to try and steady myself. I enjoyed the response of the audience, but I didn't actually believe that I performed that well.
Well, you certainly did great. You wowed me too when I was watching this. And you're singing? What song are you singing?
Well, Nessun Dorma for the first round and the final, and Time to Say Goodbye in the middle.
You've managed to make me cry again. Grandad passed away this week, and he would have voted for you, so I vote for you on behalf of him. You were fantastic.
And this was during your final, I believe. And what song were you singing here?
Nessun Dorma again.
Did you feel any more comfortable compared to the first time you were singing on stage?
Not really, because the first time there was no expectations. The second time, that's when the expectations come in, and you're aware of what that other people know what to expect now. So it does make you a bit more nervous.
Wow. Well, for a nervous guy, you certainly sound like you're confident at what you're doing. Well, it still gives me chills to hear you sing, but do you remember what first came to your mind when you won the competition?
Well, initially it was, oh my God, why me? I never believed that would happen, and it's a real big moment for me, obviously, over the last 4 years, that particular moment, and when I look back on the process, and I look back on that first time that I walked onto stage, now I see it as like a key opening a door, and it was, and I'm so grateful to the program, and hugely grateful for the opportunity. Not many people get the opportunities that I've had, and I know how fortunate I am, and people have made that happen by supporting me over the last 4 years, and I can't stop being grateful for that.
Well, many people might wonder what has changed in your life ever since you won the competition. What was the biggest change you had to go through?
Well, 1 minute I was selling mobile phones in the shop, and the next minute suddenly I was doing press conferences, which was something that was completely alien to me before. It was one of those moments when it's what we call a sink or swim situation. You either have to face it head on and deal with it, or it can smother you. So I've always had the attitude that you have to take each day as it comes, and that's how I've dealt with the changes in my life. I think the biggest change has to be the fact that I'm now doing what I love doing. And performing in so many wonderful places in the world, here in Korea and all the way around the world. It's something that I could never have dreamed of before. I love doing it, and it's just amazing to find myself doing it.
Well, how did your wife and your friends react to the news? I mean, I bet they're really surprised.
Well, my wife had obviously heard me sing many times. Work colleagues, I'd always refused to sing in front of them, so they were kind of taken by surprise. So they get quite a lot of calls. One of them actually while I was still on stage. It was just something that I never expected to happen, and so it was just surreal for me.
Well, you have released 3 albums so far, I believe. So how did you feel when you received your first album with your very own name engraved on it?
Well, a mixture of nerves and excitement, because once it's recorded, that's a performance that lasts forever, basically, and so you feel excited about it, but also nervous because you want it to be as good as possible, but you still want to have room to improve as well. But it was a huge honour for me.